I think this side. Yeah, please.
There's a lady at the back.
Where's the lady? I can't see. Yeah.
Thank you.
Farooq.
Thank you.
अबे after all इसका भी तो
नहीं, समझ गया. Yes.
Really, I must thank you, Mr. Farooq Abdullah, for noticing me. Thank you. Okay. My name is Mala Thapar, and while I really appreciate everybody's endeavor in making India great, there's one thing which is very obvious in all the speeches, which is that we in our country are running a politics of personality and not a politics of policy. You know, when we become leaders with policy in the front and personality behind, somehow it makes more sense. So would you care to comment on that, please?
Digvijay Singh he doesn't believe in that personality cult, but I think Farooq represents one personality. You want to answer, Modi sahab?
नहीं इनको बोलो.
Farooq should.
नहीं पहले ये बोलिए.
पहले ये बड़ी personality है क्या?
देखिए, हमारे देश में अगर सब्सटेंस नहीं है तो पर्सनालिटी और करिश्मे की चर्चा लंबी नहीं चलती है. राजीव गांधी मिस्टर क्लीन लेकर के पूरे देश ने एकदम से पहले दिन तिलक को लोकमान्य तिलक बनने में आधी जिंदगी खपानी पड़ी थी, लेकिन सब्सटेंस नहीं होने के कारण स्थिति बदल गई. वीपी सिंह साहब आए, करिश्मेटिक लीडर के नाम में बहुत कुछ हौला हुआ, बड़ी बनी, हालत लंबे नहीं चले. मैं मानता हूं अगर पॉलिसी सपोर्ट नहीं है, पर्सनालिटी एक एडिशनल फैक्टर हो सकता है, सब्सटेंस नहीं है, गुड डिलीवर नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो लंबे अरसे तक आज के युग में चलना किसी के लिए भी मुश्किल है. इवन ग्लैमर के बल फिल्म दुनिया में भी कितना ही बड़ा कलाकार 2 साल टिकना उसके लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है. राजनीति में तो चारों तरफ से घेरे जाते हो. अगर आप में सब्सटेंस नहीं है तो सिर्फ कैरिस्मेटिक पर्सनालिटी आपको लंबा समय तक सर्वाइव नहीं करवा पाते हैं. और तीसरी बात है, ये जो यानी फैमिली ट्रेडिशन से जो लीडरशिप आती है, डायनेस्टी वाला मामला, मैं समझता हूं जैसे लोकतंत्र के लिए वोट बैंक एक खतरा है, डायनेस्टी भी सबसे बड़ा खतरा है. और वो कैरिस्मेटिक यानी फिर बड़ा तामझाम खड़ा करना पड़ता है, दुनिया खड़ी करे, लंबा चलता नहीं है.
See, politics and personality, politics of ideology and personalities, they work together. Every ideological oriented party does have a leader who delivers. So therefore, I think you can't keep them apart. Every political party which has an ideology has a leader who attracts, who has got a charisma and who has a potential to deliver. As far as the dynastic rule is concerned, it is our political party. We have elected them. They are not being nominated as they are nominated in some of the organizations which you have been working with. So I think where the democratic forces are there, it doesn't make a difference whether dynastic rules or not. What is happening in the USA, aren't the dynasties working? What is happening in other countries also? So don't over sort of blow out of proportion the issue of dynasty.
Two things. Personality really matters. Look at Clinton. Look at Kennedy. They had an aura. The women would fall for them in every corner of the world. Let's be very honest about it. Rajiv Gandhi. How handsome. I swear to you, one day, I must tell you, I flew with him from here to a place in Maharashtra when he was not the Prime Minister, and he flew the plane himself, that small plane. And there he addressed a public meeting, and from there he went to Indore because of the constitution जिसने बनाया वो Ambedkar साहब. His birthplace is Mao, and they had a blood donation thing in Mao. We landed at 1 o'clock, and he was this is 25 miles distance, and we are waiting for him to arrive in Mao, sir, you would not believe, he arrived, getting into that vehicle at 1 o'clock at Indore, 25 miles, he arrived at 1 o'clock in the morning. That was the charisma this man had. And when we got back here, he didn't sleep. He came back at 5 o'clock back to Indore airport, took off, landed here. And in the morning he calls me at 9 o'clock. मैंने कहा यार अभी तो हम पहुंचे हैं तो कहाँ पहुंचे? And I went there and I see his red cheeks and I told him, do you apply rouge or something so that these cheeks are so red? And he said, no, get a hanky and see. But he had that charisma. Whether you like him or not, that's a different matter. I mean, if I was a woman, I would have fallen for him 1,000 times. So he had a charisma. The tragedy was, and I must say his tragedy also. हम देखेंगे, हम देख रहे हैं, हम देख चुके हैं. And he used to change. I'm telling you frankly. Now suppose I had discussed something with him, and by the time I got to the airport, these cronies round him would get round and tell him to spin a story round him. I had to rush back because something had been told to him which was not correct, and I had to clear the slate again. That was the only tragedy with that man, but otherwise, India had a great leader. I don't belong to Congress. India had a great leader, and if he hadn't died, I don't think BJP would have been in power for multiple years. He had charisma. I mean, the village, what did Nehru have? Nehru had charisma. Even at that age, he would jump into the crowd. And how people would embrace him. As a child, I tell you, I used to say, my God, ye kya hai? That is one. Second, you have to have vision. And don't forget, he had that vision of opening India from that useless dialogue of being a socialist state. And I'm sorry to tell you, Narendra Modi ji, I am one of those fellows who feels we have no right as a government to run industries. Industry is not our job. Our job is to govern, not run industries. And that was the tragedy of India for too long. And Rajiv Gandhi broke that and broke those walls, but unfortunately that damn Bofors gun, which proved its worth. The general is here. General Malik is here, who was commanding at that time when Kargil war took place. And I must say, Bofors proved its mettle in Kargil wars. Is that true, sir, or not? It proved its mettle. But unfortunately, Gali Gali mein shor hai, Rajiv Gandhi chor hai. What did he need 64 crores? He had all India at his feet.
Anyway,
that is the answer
again,
I give you, my dear.
There's the lady here again, Farooq. Please.
Hello, I'm Mrinalini.
I'll tell you
I'm born and raised in the States, but I'm also Gujarati. And I have to say that I want to thank you for what you've done for the development in Gujarat. I can see it, my family can see it, and I think that's fantastic. And it makes me proud to be associated with Gujarat. The events, however, in 2002 were heartbreaking. And I don't see today you utilizing your charisma and your leadership to heal what happened there. My question to you is, how are you taking the Islamic population and the Hindu population and leveraging your leadership to be able to heal what has happened?
What is the question?
It's a question. Yeah. Because of, I think if I got it rightly, please tell me. But basically you're asking that what happened during that time was horrible, and how you are leveraging economic development to bring the two communities together, isn't it? I got it right?
She says, how are you going to heal the wounds of 2002?
How you are going to heal the wounds?
The wounds of the people, whether they are Hindus or Muslims in Gujarat.
But that's why both the communities have said. Both the communities.
It's the human side of it. How are you going to take the Islamic community, the people who have been hurt, the Hindus who have been hurt, and you as the leader hold these communities together and heal what has happened.
जो घाव कैसे भरेंगे आप, जो डेवलपमेंट इतना हो रहा है?
जितना मैं समझ पाया, एक तो पिछले 2002 की घटना की जो आप चर्चा कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद हमारे यहां आईएम में एक प्रोफेसर का भाषण था, और वो शायद भारत सरकार में किसी व्यवस्था में है, मैं नाम तो भूल गया हूं। उन्होंने भाषण करते हुए कहा कि मैं गुजराती नहीं हूं, लेकिन मेरे मन की बात आज मैं बोलना चाहता हूं। ही इज ए मुस्लिम। उन्होंने कहा कि आप गुजरात में 100 मुसलमान को पूछिए कि भाई आप यहां जितना कमाते हो, जैसे रहते हो, यहां से हम आपको बिहार या उत्तर प्रदेश या महाराष्ट्र ले जाकर के रखने के लिए व्यवस्था करते हैं, और जवाब में 100 में से आपको एक व्यक्ति नहीं मिलेगा जो कहेगा कि मैं गुजरात छोड़ के जाना चाहता हूं। और उन्होंने कहा कि मैं बिहार, उत्तर प्रदेश या हिंदुस्तान के किसी भी राज्य में जाकर के 100 मुसलमान को पूछूं कि यहां जो व्यवस्था है वैसी व्यवस्था आपको गुजरात में मिलेगी, आप जाने को तैयार हो क्या? उन्होंने कहा कि मैं दावे से कहता हूं 50% से अधिक लोग गुजरात जाने को तैयार हो जाएंगे। ये एक सच्चाई है गुजरात की। और इसलिए, लेकिन जो लोग इसी से रोजी रोटी कमाते हैं, उनके घाव भरने के लिए मेरे पास कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है। जो दिल्ली में बैठते हैं, इंटरनेशनल सेमिनार में जाते हैं, बढ़िया अंग्रेजी बोल लेते हैं, उनके लिए मेरे पास उनके घाव भरना मुश्किल है। लेकिन मेरे राज्य के जो नागरिक हैं,
हमारी तरफ
उनके घाव भर चुके हैं। वो प्रेम के साथ बहुत तरक्की कर रहे हैं, आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
मैं इसका एक ही जवाब दूंगा आपसे। मैं ये कहूंगा, घाव वक्त से भरे जाते हैं, मगर जितना हम इसको उभारते जाएंगे तो घाव को उठाते जाएंगे तो खून बहता जाएगा। वक्त आ गया है कि अब हमें ऐसी घटनाओं को भूलना चाहिए और सिर्फ ये याद रखना चाहिए कि ऐसी घटना फिर हमारे देश में कहीं ना हो। वही एक रास्ता है।
I think that's what नरेंद्र भाई made a comment in the beginning. अगर पुरानी शैली को लेके चलेंगे तो गड़बड़ होती रहेगी। यही कहा था शायद आपने।
हम अंग्रेजी अच्छी बोल लेते हैं मगर हम कोई ऐसी भाषा नहीं बोलते जिसमें कि देश कमजोर हो जाए।
चंद्र,
Chandra Uday Singh. Modi ji, the question I want to ask, I hope you don't mind if I ask in English. Apart from whatever may have happened in the past, today, in today's Gujarat, after all the successes which you have had and the admiration which you obviously enjoy from not only from the people of Gujarat, but from the business community throughout India, from all sections for the development, for what you've done for the girl child in Gujarat, etc. But is it true that many people who left their places, their villages, their homes, their bastis, have not returned even today and are still not resettled in their homes of people who left in 2002?
ये एक झूठ फैलाया जा रहा है, वो सही नहीं है। एक चल रहा है, अब वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी मामला उसका चल रहा है, एक ह्यूमन राइट कमीशन भी उसको देख रहा है, और गुजरात सरकार ने उसकी डिटेल दी है। ये सरासर फैलाई हुई बातें हैं।
आपका कहना है कि सब वापस अपनी बस्तियों में आ गए हैं?
सब लोग जिनको जहां रहना सुविधाजनक है वहां आराम से सुख से रह रहे हैं।
पर वापस लौट गए हैं?
जिनको जाने की इच्छा है, व्यवस्था है, जो चाहता है कि अहमदाबाद में अच्छी जिंदगी मिल गई, वो जाना नहीं चाहता है तो वो वहां रहना पसंद करेगा, तो उसके लिए भी व्यवस्था है। उसकी मर्जी के अनुसार व्यवस्था है। अगर वो चाहता है कि गांव की जिंदगी जीना है, वापिस जाना चाहता है, तो वो भी व्यवस्था है। वो अगर कहता है कि अब शहर में सुखी हूं, तो वो भी व्यवस्था है। और हमने किसी पे कंपेल नहीं करना चाहिए।
नहीं, कंपेल नहीं, लेकिन
अगर वो अपनी मर्जी से अपने सुख से जी रहा है।
थैंक यू।
Yeah, Nikhil.
जी इसको
मैं निखिल कुमार हूं, मैं कांग्रेसी सांसद हूं बिहार से, मेरा क्षेत्र है औरंगाबाद। मोदी जी ने कहा, किसी मुस्लिम प्रोफेसर साहब ने ये कहा था, ये क्लेम किया था कि अगर बिहार में मुसलमानों से पूछा जाए कि क्या आप जाकर के गुजरात में जो व्यवस्था है उस पर रहना चाहेंगे, तो सब कहेंगे, कम से कम आधे ज्यादा कहेंगे कि जाएंगे। मैं सांसद हूं और मैं अपने लोगों से जुड़ा हुआ हूं। मैं अपने क्षेत्र की बात बता रहा हूं। उनसे जब गुजरात की बात करता हूं मोदी जी, तो कतई वहां जाने को तैयार नहीं होते। ये अगर जो उन साहब ने ऐसी बात कही है तो बहुत गलत बात कही है, और ये मैं आपकी नोटिस में इसलिए ला रहा हूं कि कोई मुगालता न रह जाए कि जो कुछ हो रहा है गुजरात में उसको बाहर के लोग अप्रूव करते हैं, और जो मैं कह रहा हूं ये कोई गलत बयानी नहीं है, ये कोई प्रोपेगेंडा नहीं है, ये सत्य है और ये यथार्थ है। और रह गई बात, जो कुछ हुआ 2002 में, वो बहुत बुरा था, जघन्य अपराध था, और ये सिर्फ मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं, ये मुल्क का उच्चतम न्यायालय कहता है। और उस उच्चतम न्यायालय ने गुजरात में चल रहे केसेस को वहां चलने नहीं दिया, वहां से हटा करके महाराष्ट्र भेज दिया। अगर मैं होता मुख्यमंत्री उस राज्य का तो मैं रिजाइन करता और मैं कहता कि साहब, जब हमारे शासन में उच्चतम न्यायालय को विश्वास नहीं है तो मुझे कोई हक नहीं है इस राज्य का मुख्यमंत्री बने रहने का।
आरजेडी के महाशय से और तो मैं कुछ सलाह मिल नहीं सकती, मुझे यही मिलेगी। लेकिन आज भी मेरे राज्य में, आज भी कांग्रेस के हैं, फिर तो 1% ज्यादा होंगे। मित्रों, आज भी गुजरात में बिहार के इतने मुसलमान रोजाना आते हैं, रोजाना आज भी, जो मेरे यहां रोजी रोटी कमाते हैं, और मुझे गर्व है कि मेरे गुजरात के अंदर इन सबको रोजी रोटी मिलती है। वो आपके क्षेत्र में काफी पिछड़ापन होगा, शायद गुजरात जाने का हौसला नहीं रहा होगा उनका।
Anyway, Nikhil, this is.
Are you asking a
It's debating. It's not. It's a question we have to ask, not debate. Shashibhai.
There is also that second pilot wants to ask a question.
Sir, me. Rahul says, I'm the closest supporter of Narendra Modi. I'm glad to accept that fact that I am his closest supporter. But having said that, various questions have come up all evening on Hindu, Muslim, are Muslims happy in Gujarat and so on and so on, and whether Bihar people would be willing to come to Gujarat. I am building a steel plant there. In Gujarat, we have 16,000 workers working, building that plant. None of us have asked them where they come from. It doesn't matter whether they are from Bihar, they are from Orissa, they are from Gujarat. Nobody asks. The reality on the ground is that it is not pertinent whether you are a Muslim or a Hindu to get a job in that state. One. Two, we have, under his leadership, built 500 kilometers of canals of the Narmada. Nobody has gone and asked who at the end of the canal is going to drink that water. Is it going to be a Muslim or a Hindu? All we remember is the millions of lamps that were lit when that water arrived in distant villages like Morbi, like Kutch. That is the development. I sincerely request all the people here who have opinion on Gujarat, before forming an opinion, please come and see it for yourself, and after that make a comment. Thank you.
Yeah, he is letting... Okay, let him ask the question.
Question for Farooq Sahab, Kulkarni. My name is Kulkarni. I don't know whether I'll be able to express myself correctly on this, but as I understand, Article 370 puts restrictions on Indians, the rest of India, moving into Kashmir. It doesn't put any restrictions on Kashmiris moving into the rest of India. That being the case, why is it that a nationalist like you has confined himself only to Kashmir and has not moved down to India?
The people who are responsible for me not moving into the rest of the country are here, sitting here, of the two parties that I hear. That is one answer.
But your son was the minister here.
Now, the question of 370. 370 does not bar you from having land there. It gives you land for 99 years lease, which can be extended to kingdom come. This was because the people are extremely poor, and the realization was at that time that till the majority gets, makes money enough so that they don't have to sell their lands and move into the mountains. Thus, this was made at that time. At the time of India's independence, the leaders of that time gave that state that opportunity to have these laws for the good of the state. Who knows? I cannot go beyond this because elections are coming in my state, and the very parties that are going to fight against me, what I'm going to say next, they're going to use this for me. So please ask me not to go beyond this.
Honest enough. That is
enough.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I respect politicians. I am in business and I respect politicians. I run a company called BSNL, which connects India, and I know how difficult it is to connect India. How difficult it is.
Are you from BSNL?
Sir.
In my state, the BSNL is in a very poor show. Please improve it.
We'll improve it, sir. We'll improve it, sir. I go there and try to do that. But the point which I am trying to bring is, it's very difficult to connect India. It is very difficult to bring everybody together and then manage growth and manage the politics. So my first response is that I respect politicians, people who rule. It's very, very difficult. Now there is a very small question which I want to raise, which perhaps has not been raised by this House, which is on the nuclear agreement. I think there has to be a consensus on that, and therefore I would like to have the view of the panelists. मैं मोदी साहब के लिए हिंदी में उसका अनुवाद भी करूंगा. एक तो ये कि मैं राजनीतिज्ञों का बहुत आदर करता हूं, क्योंकि इस देश में इतना ज्यादा द्वंद्व है, इतना मतभेद है कि उसको इकट्ठा करना कोई आसान काम नहीं है. एक दूसरा मेरा निवेदन ये कि मैं आप सबसे ये जानना चाहूंगा कि न्यूक्लियर समझौते के बारे में आपके क्या विचार है. मुझे तो लगता है कि वो इस देश के भले में है और शायद सबको एकमत होकर उसका एक साथ मिलकर उसको सपोर्ट करना चाहिए.
वैसे ये न्यूक्लियर डील विषय तो नहीं है, पर न्यूक्लियर डील भी वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स हो
बन सकता है. मुझे लगता है कि शायद है, वो जुड़ा हुआ है.
सॉरी, will you respond?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think the leader of the opposition today made it very clear that he does not oppose relationship with America. He also was of the idea that as far as nuclear deal was concerned, it was all right, but the strictures that are there, that you cannot have Pokhran 3, and that we cannot do any more testing, and for that we have to ask permission from those people, is the thing that is really what is affecting us. And let me also say one thing very clearly. The party that is on my right, they will forgive me for saying so, have not been able to tell the nation very frankly what does it hold. If you ask a man on the street, what is nuclear deal? He says, nuclear deal bahut kharab hai. Why is it bad? He says, because they're all saying it. The point is, we politicians have failed to tell the people what are the benefits to this nation from this treaty. If they could explain, we have had no discussion in the parliament which is of really consequence, where we parliamentarians could understand what does Hyde Act, in how does Hyde Act affect us? Is there a way that we can go around it or something like this? This is something I'm telling you as frankly as myself. If I cannot understand nuclear treaty, how will my rickshaw driver or my driver, who is really the voter? The industrialist is not a voter who is sitting here. None of them stand in the line. Except Bajaj must be standing in line. But I'm telling you frankly, it is they who vote, and they do not know whether it is good for the nation or bad for the nation. So what we politicians need, and I think what they need to do, is to go to the common man so he understands what this deal really is and how does India benefit from this.
But Farooq, you are not giving your opinion. Are you for it or against it?
No, I can't give my opinion. I've got elections coming.
No, the point is very clear. The nuclear deal is good and good for the country. He may be right to a certain extent that we not be able to explain in its right perspective. But the fact is, the earlier India government was prepared to strike an agreement or deal for much lesser than what we have bargained for. So this is nothing new. It's just a doublespeak, continuous doublespeak of my dear friends.
No, I want to say one thing more. While as we had Rajiv Gandhi, as charismatic leader, let us not forget the other great leader of the BJP, who no longer is now going to lead the nation. Vajpayee was and still remains charismatic. When in Hindi he spoke and his eyes went like this, many used to just fall because his language was so good, unbelievable. And he was really lady killer.
देखिए, न्यूक्लियर डील के संबंध में आज सुबह भी अडवाणी जी ने बताया, ऐसा फारूक साहब ने कहा। बाकी तो चलिए, बीजेपी का अपना स्टैंड हो सकता है, लेकिन कम से कम कांग्रेस पार्टी यूपीए के अपने पार्टनरों को तो समझाएं क्या कर रहे हैं, उनको तो साथ लें, बाद में देश को समझाएं और दलों को बाद में समझाएं। जिनके भरोसे वो सरकार चला रहे हैं उनको तो कन्विंस करें वो क्या कर रहे हैं, वो भी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं।
नहीं, बात समझाने की नहीं, समझाए हैं, कोई समझना नहीं चाहे वो दूसरी बात होती है। लेकिन प्रश्न इस बात का है कि आपकी सरकार जब थी, आप उससे कई बिंदु ऐसे थे जिसमें कि आप समझौता करने के लिए तैयार थे, आप क्यों पलट गए?
चलिए आप इसका जवाब देंगे।
मैंने दे दिया।
वैसे मोदी साहब कहते केंद्रीय नेताओं के बारे में मैं क्यों बात करूं, यही बात है ना।
क्या मैंने बोल दिया?
नहीं, अपने लीडरों
मैंने बोल दिया भैया,
क्या
बोल दिया?
क्या हम तैयार हैं?
पहले अपने साथियों को कन्विंस करें वो।
Anyway, I will take one or two more questions.
It is too much now.
Yeah.
बहुत हो गया।
Rahul, you must ask a question. There is no question that you will.
He will ask in Rajya Sabha. He will ask in Rajya Sabha.
You must ask a question.
To your original.
Yeah, please. In the mic.
Arun, how about you?
Okay, sir, I'd like to come back to your original discussion on voting banks. I'd like just to point out to you, I'm Ken Hansraj from New York. Why is the Hindus voting as a bloc and the Muslims voting as a bloc? Why is it any different from when the Middle America Christians vote as a bloc or the Israelis in America vote as a bloc? Why is that any different?
No, in India, Hindus don't vote as a bloc and the Muslims also don't vote as a bloc. They don't vote as a bloc.
Do you agree that they vote as a bloc? Hindus and Muslims?
There are political parties, those who want to create this vote blocks.
I think both of them create vote blocks.
Yeah, last question from you.
My main objective of attending this was to understand what trends are going to come about, because we as the youth, we need to see what we need to foresee. So we have the third front coming up, which will also capitalize on vote bank politics. But what do you foresee? Do you think, because vote bank politics goes with secularism, it's entwined. So is it here to stay, and how can we reduce it? Education, yes. We can reduce it by education, but what else can we do? What should we foresee? to reduce the impact of vote bank politics?
Training of leaders. It is very important for the political parties that are leading this nation that they should train younger leaders with the new thought and new line.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I've already said politics of inclusion. Let every citizen of this country feel that he belongs to this country and he's got his hopes and aspirations to do well in this country.
Long-term vision and development.
These are two messages you would like to give. Muzi, I have a question for you because in the morning these questions were put to Mr. Advani also, but somehow we couldn't get the answer which would satisfy. What is there in the BJP for the young generation in India? Because 2/3 of the population is less than 35 years old. What have you got to give it to the young leadership? Have you got anything different?
देखिए, आज जो 21वीं सदी किसकी होगी इसकी जो चर्चा हो रही है, उसमें एशिया पर ध्यान जाता है, फिर चाइना पे जाता है, हिंदुस्तान पे जाता है। हमारा जो सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज है वो हिंदुस्तान यंग है। हम यंग यानी सिर्फ एज वाइज है इतना नहीं, हम आज के युग में जिस टैलेंट ने दुनिया को डोमिनेट किया है उसको हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। और तीसरा, हजारों साल की यहाँ की एक सांस्कृतिक विरासत रही है कि हिंदुस्तानी नौजवान हो या हिंदुस्तानी व्यक्ति हो, वो बदलती हुई चीजों को एब्सॉर्ब करने की, स्वीकार करने की एक बहुत बड़ी ऊंची ताकत रखता है। और इस चीजों को, ये जो नेचुरल हमारी टैलेंट और क्वालिटीज हैं, उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए देश की युवा शक्ति को वैश्विक परिवेश में तैयार करना चाहिए। एक तरफ दुनिया 100 करोड़ के देश को मार्केट बनाने में तुला हुआ है, हमने युवा जगत को दुनिया को मार्केट बना करके हिंदुस्तान को दुनिया में मार्केटिंग कैसे हो उस दिशा में ले जाने का प्रयास करना चाहिए, उसको ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव में लीड करने के लिए तैयार करना चाहिए।
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Very short question.
Yeah, very short.
No speech, only short question.
Good.
Yeah.
What all leaders here spoke. They all spoke goody-goody, as if that there is nothing wrong in the society, and what they
Question, please, question.
Yeah, question is that they haven't represented the truth which exists. In other words, the words did not convey the facts which exist in our society. That's the question.
What is the question? I have still not.
Question is that, of course, no. Kind of society we have. Society divided on caste line, creed line, regional line. What are the problems leaders face?
बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन, मैं समझ गया आपका क्वेश्चन की
That they have not answered. They think that, of course, unless until we change the society, we haven't discussed about how to change the society. That role, government is what deserves. Politicians are what the masses are.
Answer, Guruji ji बैठिए, अब आपका क्वेश्चन, I think they have answered the question. Modi said development can change the society. Farooq Sahab said you should not use Allah, Allah belongs to Muslims. They have made certain points. But now I'm concluding the session, Farooq Sahab. Short question again. आप लोगों ने admit किया, all of you are honest enough to admit there is a vote bank politics. Whether you play or not, I'm not giving comment again because you all will say no, we don't play. But there is a vote bank politics. Will it end soon or not? Yes or no?
Well, to say
no, it's in bed.
To say that it will end soon, I don't see it.
Digvijay Singh ji.
Yes, it can.
It can, but it will not.
It can.
Vote bank politics.
Of course, it's a challenge, but we must try our level best.
But will it end or not?
To end it, we must try our level best.
Anyway, it's again, I didn't get any clear answer from them because they deviated. Modi Sahab also said we must try. Okay, that's the challenge. I'm leaving it here.
Can I just leave these people with one good thought?
Yeah, only Farooq was honest.
Yesterday, I was traveling from Srinagar to Delhi, and I want you to also hear. There was a young girl with her mother, studying in DPS school in Kashmir. And now, I just asked her, what are you doing why are you coming to Delhi? She said, I want to join DPS in Delhi. I said, why do you want to join DPS in Delhi? Muslim girl. I want to have an exposure that I cannot get in Kashmir. I get an exposure in Delhi. And I said, what is your intention? I want to be a leader. I want to guide the destinies of people. I said, of who? Kashmiris? She said, no, of India. I leave you with that thought.
Prabhu, can I seek your indulgence for a second? In front.
Oh, Shekhar, yeah. Okay.
No, I'm intervening because I can't let Mr. Digvijay Singh get away with the statement that dynastic rule in India is the same as in America. Because every Wednesday morning we wake up to watch the results of the previous day's primaries. Democratic Party is seeing the most vicious internal competition for leadership. When was the last time anybody in your party challenged a member of the Gandhi family for leadership and lived to tell the tale? Hang on.
1 minute.
Hang on. I'm not judgmental about it because other parties in India have dynastic politics, but they don't indulge in the hypocrisy of saying we elect our leaders. Mr. Farooq Abdullah's son is his successor. Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav's son will be his successor. In DMK, there is a fight for succession, but it's all within the members of the dynasty. And they never say we elect anybody. So that is one point. So let's not trivialize another country's political system because chances are Hillary will lose. Having said that, I have one question to ask each one of you. There was a defining political statement made last year. Maut ke saudagar. Now, can each one of you answer this in one sentence and one word, yes or no? Was that statement a statement of vote bank politics or a statement challenging vote bank politics?
Yeah. Good question.
So, okay, I'll take it first. As far as the dynastic rule theory is concerned, well, we are a political party, we have our elections, and why does it affect anyone if we elect Mrs. Sonia Gandhi as our leader? It's not your concern, it is a concern of our political party, number one. Number two, wherever they have reached on the basis of free and fair election in this country, and they have not been nominated. Number two, as far as the Maut ka Saudagar statement is concerned, it was a statement made in Gujarat on the issue where there was a communal carnage in 2002, and I was very amused when Mr. Advani made that famous statement that Narendra Bhai is not cannot be a merchant of death, but he can be a Hitler.
Well, as far as I go, I'd like to just say one thing. Why do you only target politicians that they have dynastic rule? What about Bajaj? He is a businessman. His children are running also. Why don't you catch him? Why don't you grab Hinduja family? They run the thing. These are few people I can name, Birlas for instance. Now nobody targets them and says family rule. Ruyas. And they say family rule. और जहाँ politician देखा family rule. अरे क्या फिर हम जहन्नम में जाए? कहाँ जाए? I don't know whether he has never introduced me to his wife. I do not know. Are you married, sir? Because I do not know. That is a tragedy. We do not know about each other. So unless we know whether he loves music, he loves the good things of love, how can I say whether I can get on with him or not? So please, do not talk of dynastic rule. You should talk of dynastic rule as such. As far as that phrase, that you are the angel of death.
Merchant of death.
Merchant of death. Well, I don't know who told her to say he's merchant of death. That was a very bad statement. Because how can he be merchant of death? If he was merchant of death, I would have sent him across and said, well, get on with the job there.
वैसे फारूक साहब सिंह मैं बोलूंगा कुछ नहीं, इलेक्शन है पर बहुत कुछ है यहाँ पर, सब टेप हो रहा है आपका.
I just wanted to know, are you married? You're not married? तो फिर आपको कैसा डायनेस्टिक रूल होएगा? आपको तो कभी होएगा ही नहीं.
जवाब दीजिए सर। मर्चेंट ऑफ डेथ वोट बैंक को रोकने के लिए किया गया था या वोट बैंक बनाने के लिए किया गया था?
मुझे लगता है कि जब मैं 2002 में चुनाव लड़ रहा था तो ये हमारे कांग्रेस के मित्र भाषण करते थे मोदी डेवलपमेंट की बात क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, और मैं 2007 की बात कर रहा चुनाव लड़ रहा था तो हमारे कांग्रेस के मित्र मैं डेवलपमेंट की बात करता था तो किसी भी हालत में उस दिशा में जाने को तैयार नहीं थे। पूरे डिबेट में कांग्रेस हमेशा डेवलपमेंट के विषय से भागती रही। अब उनके पास कोई मुद्दा तो था नहीं, कोई एलिगेशन लगाना संभव नहीं था। घिसी-पिटी कैसेट गुजरात की जनता को कन्विंस नहीं कर पा रही थी। मुझे लगता है तब उन्होंने गुजरात के चुनाव की तो आशा छोड़ दी थी, लेकिन वो गुजरात के बाहर के अपनी वोट बैंक को एड्रेस करना चाहते थे। तो ये मैदान तो गुजरात बनाया था, लेकिन खेल वो आउट ऑफ गुजरात लड़ रहे थे। तो गुजरात को गंवा चुके थे, उनको लगता था गुजरात के बाहर ये चीजें शायद काम कर जाएगी, लेकिन खैर उनका झूठ कितने दिन चलेगा, नसीब हो गया खेल पूरा।
Okay, thank you all of you. I think it was a good debate. We never got a conclusion, and there is a vote bank politics. I'll invite Mr. Puri to give some present memento to all of them.
आज पहली दफा मुझे मालूम हुआ।